On the 20th, according to Russian media reports, the United States has privately warned Iran. The U.S. military will go to war in the Middle East if necessary. This is the U.S.'s statement that does not exclude the use of force. It seems to be in response to Iran's warning. Earlier, Iran had stated that if the United States does not stop Israel's reckless behavior, then, including Iran, the resistance forces in the Middle East may all be involved in the conflict. At that time, the conflict could escalate into a Middle East war. The United States clearly intends to adopt a no-holds-barred attitude. This also indicates support for Israel. The United States itself has also fallen into extreme madness. Faced with the increasingly out-of-control situation between Palestine and Israel, China and Russia have joined forces to speak out, calling for the prompt promotion of peace between Palestine and Israel. According to media reports, Chinese Special Envoy Jai Jun has visited the Middle East and met with Qatar's Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Bogdanov, as Putin's special envoy, responsible for handling Middle East and African affairs. Both sides agreed during the meeting. Efforts should be made to strengthen cooperation, ensure the cooling down of the Palestine-Israel situation, resume peace talks, promote a ceasefire, strive for an early and proper resolution of the Palestine-Israel issue. The positions of China and Russia compared to the United States. It can be said that the difference is clear. Both China and Russia are calling for a ceasefire between Palestine and Israel, making efforts to salvage the situation, while the United States is inciting the escalation of the situation. In order to achieve the goal of supporting Israel, Biden has already decided to push for large-scale military assistance to Israel, to ensure Israel's advantage. Meanwhile, the U.S. has deployed 2 aircraft carrier strike groups and more combat aircraft, as well as Marine Corps units, have been sent to the vicinity of Israel. As the United States has told Iran, Washington, when necessary, might directly start a war with a single command. Moreover, just when China and Russia are pushing for de-escalation between Palestine and Israel, the United States suddenly takes a tough stance. Media reports indicate the so-called head of the American Institute in Taiwan, Rosenberger, has once again visited Taiwan and openly made provocative remarks in Taipei, claiming that even if Israel in the confrontation between Hamas escalates, it will not affect Washington's support for Taiwan. Rosenberger boasted that Washington still considers support for Taiwan as a priority, and will emphasize arms sales to Taiwan. On the issue of Ukraine, the United States continues to fuel the fire. After Biden's visit to Israel, he had a conversation with Zelensky, and claimed that the two parties in the U.S. Congress are in internal strife, still support continuing to supply weapons to Ukraine. Biden is pushing for billions of dollars in military aid to Ukraine. This will ensure that the Ukrainian military next year still able to receive substantial military support. That is to say, at least until the U.S. 2024 election. Biden will still ask Zelensky to ensure Ukraine continues to engage in conflict with Russia. The United States often brings up the issue of Ukraine to compare with the Taiwan Strait issue. Now the United States is using the issue of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict to continue to hype up the situation in the Taiwan Strait. Obviously, the United States is still afraid that the world will not be in chaos. It is not surprising that the situation in the Middle East has been chaotic for a long time. In the final analysis, it is the United States that is instigating. However, the Taiwan Strait issue is different from other issues. This is China's internal affair. The United States has no right to